Welcome to FX Clash, where, as you can probably tell from the channel, it's going to be short videos, TikToks, Instagram Reels, whatever you want to call them, and they're going to be leading to these longer form unlisted tutorials that go a little bit more in depth. So, for right now, they're going to be unlisted, but eventually, hopefully, they will be longer form tutorials. Okay. So, we're going to be doing tracking today, like the video that led here. So, let's go on in. We are here in After Effects. Okay, so we got two things of footage here. We've got the tutorial footage, and we've got this footage I recorded just a minute ago of me basically making faces at my phone camera. Now let's start off. Let's make a new composition with this original footage, and we're just gonna crop it off. We don't want to work with this whole length, so I'm gonna go to the point that I want it to end, and I'll hit N, hover over this gray area that says work area, and trim comp to work area. So now it's literally just the area that we want to work in. Okay, we're gonna make a null, name it, hit enter, name it whatever you want. Haha. Alright, and go in here, hit track motion. Now if this tracker area is either closed, whoops, I don't know what happened there. If it's closed like this, you just click on it, it'll open. If you're in one of these other layouts and it's not visible, you can go up to Window, and then Tracker, and it'll appear. Okay, now select the footage you want to track, hit Track Motion. We're going to go over here, and we're going to select a pretty large area. In my tests, this footage does sometimes struggle with the tracking because I believe some of the movement around in the field, like the wind blowing the field, kind of messes with it. So what you want to find is you want to find something kind of isolated a little bit. Obviously you want it to be moving and you want it to be contrasty. So like right here is actually not bad. You can see the bright yellow flowers everywhere and then this dark silhouette. So ideally this should track well, but again, as I said, maybe it's something with the movement of the leaves and stuff and the flowers in the wind that makes it not necessarily track as well. So, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. So we're going to go over here to Analyze. We're going to hit this Analyze Forward. And that's going to track for us. Seems to be going pretty well. Might mess up. I think it might be also the hair. I think the hair might be bouncing on this lady, which could mess up the track, but it looks to be going pretty smooth right now. Alright, so we've got our track. And over here you can say motion target is named after or whatever you want null. But if it's not the null or something you want, if you have multiple, it might not. It'll randomly select it. So we're going to go to edit target, make sure it's the one that we want. It is, hit OK, then hit apply. We want both the X and the Y. X is sideways, Y is up and down. We want both of those. We don't want it to be just one or the other. There we go. Now as you can see our little layer area down here, whatever it's called. What is this called? No one knows. It has been populated with all these keyframes. So now our footage is tracked. Look at our null. Our null follows along with the footage, which is nice. And at this point, you can just add whatever you want. You can add another null object, which is useful for certain reasons that I won't really get into right now. What I'm going to do, okay, we're just going to do some text. All right, so random tracked. I don't know how to spell. Why's my backspace not working? There we go. Text. And then we can just, move that. Change up our font because no one likes Times New Roman when it comes to After Effects or anything movement. Times New Roman just doesn't look good in my opinion. Okay, we're going to go down here, parent and link, parent that to our whatever you want null, and there we go. It should be tracked. Control-Shift-H will hide all your overlays in the viewer, and there you go. Random tracked text. Oh, that's funny. Now, it's not going to be real noticeable here, but if you want it to kind of look like it's moving a little bit more, a little more embedded into the scene, you can hit toggle and switches and modes, which it might be on either one of these. If you don't see this parent, it's always the toggle switches / modes. You can't show them all at once. There's just so many options. We're going to go down here. We're going to hit motion blur, which is looks like a whole bunch of balls stacked on top of each other. We're not going to see a ton here. You can kind of see it. It's blurring. Yeah, you can see it there. It's blurring our text here, kind of matching it, because that's just something you get in real life. Like, I'm blurry right now. Okay, so there you go. That is our footage. That might slow down your comp a little bit. The more heavy your comp gets, the more you add motion blur, that'll slow it down, which is why you can just globally turn off motion blur here to speed up. Alright, so that is comp 1 here. Now, let's go into comp 2, which is a little more fun. Okay, so, as you can see here, my eyes, we're going to be tracking my eyes. Alright, now, we're just going to put, basically, text in the spot where glasses would be for this. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to create a singular null object. We're just going to name it thing. There we go. Now we're going to go back into our track. As you can see, it closed here. Go here, go track motion. It'll open it up. And what we want to do, we want to track the rotation and the scale. So that will create another tracker. We're just going to track my eyes here. We're going to take both of these trackers. We're just going to scale them to both of my eyes. What I'm trying to do is not track individual eyes. I'm trying to track both eyes at once with their rotation. So here, take this remote. You see, if we just tracked with one tracker, track here, we're just going to get this motion. But if we take two trackers, we can get like all the motion, you know? So that's what we're going to do. Okay. Now, we should, hopefully, I've never tested this one, so let's see if this works. Hit analyze forward. Should take a minute, but as you can see, we are tracking along fine. Now, there's so many different kinds of tracking in After Effects. We're not going to handle them all today because there's so many, such as 3D tracking or like perspective tracking, otherwise known as planar tracking. Okay, so we're done tracking. I cropped it off a little early because I'm impatient. But here we are. We've got our tracking markers tracked to the shot. They're following my eyes. Target, thing, cool. We're gonna hit apply. Okay, here we are. Here we go. Okay, so, thing. Control-Shift-H to unhide it. You can see it's kind of hooked to one of my eyes, but basically it's both of my eyes. It doesn't really matter. And then we're just gonna go in here, create some text. Go. We're gonna call these glasses. Ha ha ha, I'm so funny. Scale that up. Put it there, and as you can see, it's flat right now. We could rotate it, but I want to show you something. So we're going to parent that to our thing, our null object named thing, and as you can see, it's rotating with my face a little bit. So if we actually hide the footage of my face, you can kind of see it a little better. It's tracked on. Again, you can apply some motion blur. We're not going to do that though. Okay, we're going to take our face. We're going to trace around our face here. There we go. Now we have our trace here. We go into our tracker, and as you can see, it's changed. We could do a whole bunch of different things, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go face tracking detailed features, and I'm just going to hit track selected mask forward. As you can see, it's making a whole bunch of points here that are tracking along my face, including with the, bends and deformations and all that, as well as all the different like mouth shapes and everything. And our mask is being tracked to the face, all nice. It's actually cut off at my like below my hairline there. So yeah, I don't know exactly why it can't show at least the progress. I think that would be a nice feature, but maybe it's just me. Alright, and it has finished. Let me refresh this page real quick. There we go. Now we have our footage, and as you can see, our mask is now tracked along with the footage. Now, that's not always something that you may want to do, so we're just gonna turn off this mask. But now we just have all of these points that are tracked to our face that we can then, parent things to. And I'm not going to do that right now because that's a really complicated process, but just, something that is possible. Alright, so that is pretty much it for 2D tracking. Hopefully soon I'll be doing a 3D video. So yeah, if you enjoyed that, subscribe. Thank you for coming along, and I'll see you next time.